You are watching Stripped Down Live, Saskatchewan's only 1-hour local music showcase, the award-winning show that brings the venue to you in the comfort of your own living room. As always, I'm your host, Curtis Anderson. This is episode 248. And tonight on Stripped Down Live, it's Cupid's Heart.
Reaching out, can you touch it? I'm incomparable today. There's a mouth that I'm loving. If it's something you could say to me, I'm down out of control. I can't believe you're saying nothing. Baby, tell me something. No, is it wrong or is it wrong? I'm lying to say. Reaching out, time is wonderful. If it's something I could say, but now temptation with me days. Make me believe there's something I could say to make the dream okay. I can't believe I'm saying nothing, baby. I'm waiting on it, waiting till I say. You're around the shores, safe. You're around the shores, safe. Just hanging out and wonderful. If it's something one could say, but now I'm listening for the sound of being restless, being wild, and I'm okay. Now we're touching all the hopes that I cannot describe. I can't believe the sound is coming out of me. You're around the shores, safe. You're around the shores, safe. Just breaking down ain't wonderful, ain't it? Something I could not desist, but it delays and in waves, and it sits there and it's welcome at the dinner table, playing all these arms. They are helpless, holding words I can't relay. It ain't around, ain't you wonderful? You're around the shores, safe. You're around the shores, safe. You're around the shores, safe.
Stripped Down Live's 248th episode with Cupid's Heart. Welcome to Stripped Down Live.
Hey!
Hey, we
Thanks
did
for having
it.
us.
That is how you start an episode. That
We
song
have
was
made it.
that song was amazing.
Oh,
I enjoyed it during the various run-throughs, and I enjoyed hearing the whole thing right now. What did we start off with? What was the song?
The song is called Safe, and it's one of the first songs we wrote together, and it was kind of also during the time when we met, and we're in a relationship. I should just get that out of the way. But I was falling for Stacy, and then that little kind of like say I love you like thought came in my head like all the time. I was like, oh no, I can't say it. I'm not gonna say it, you know. And it's just like new relationship, and but just ultimately having that person just make you feel so safe and comfortable to be yourself, and just like it's just kind of like about like that, like providing that safety that allows people to express themselves more, you know.
So you started a relationship and then became a band?
At the same time, basically.
That's incredible.
In
That is a
parallel.
very rare story. That is a very rare story. I want to get into all that, but we have an hour. We have an hour to cover everything. So, again, welcome to Stripped Down Live. It has been a journey. This was set
Thanks
up
for
by
having
our
us.
social media correspondent, Bryn Kreisa. She did some sleuthing. She sent me some artists and bands she would love to see on the show, so thank you so much for stepping up. Have you heard of Stripped Down Live before we reached out?
No, we hadn't. But reviewing all the artists that you have had on the show, I'm surprised that we haven't. Like, there's quite a good roster there of people. So
There's been a lot of starts and stops,
Yeah.
but thank you so much for being our 248th episode.
that's amazing.
That is
So
Congratulations.
Emma and Stacy,
Yeah.
Cupid's Heart, just got off tour. You went the Prince to Prince tour. I really enjoyed that. Tell me about the Prince to Prince tour.
Well, we started in Prince Albert, Saskatchewan, and then we ended in Prince George, BC, and we had shows all along the way. And yeah, it was a really great time.
Highlights.
Oh, jeez. There's many. I mean, we started in Edmonton with a band there called Selfish Bodies.
Okay.
We met them at a speakeasy event actually previously, and we just really got along with them, and we were able to make that show happen, so we were super excited about that. Emma, highlight?
The people that we met was a definite highlight of going on tour and the places that you'll see. One of the most peculiar places that we saw was in Wells, BC, and they have kind of like a gold miners town there and prospectors town, and it's curious to know that there's still people doing this. There's still people that are going around looking for gold, and we actually met a person who had a little leather pouch full of gold nuggets like at the bar. Like, it's real.
Was he a Scooby-Doo villain?
No.
No.
That was a
real
very
person.
nice man.
That is incredible.
But the Wells Hotel is a historic hotel, and if you are ever in the area, go out of your way to see that, because it's got these great like 1920s, 1930s type architecture to it, kind of a bit Art Nouveau, and it's got a vibe. The whole town has got a bit of a old, almost Yukon-y, kind of prospector-y vibe to it.
I have so many questions, and we have so much music, so we're going to keep things moving along. Let's throw it over to our, as always, the wonderful social media correspondent. There it is. Bryn Kreisa. What's going on, Bryn? I stumbled through your intro. I did my intro fine. That's always what I'm worried about, but can't I introduce you to save my life tonight? What's going on, Bryn?
Quite a bit. There's a lot of people tuning in already.
Nice.
Which is great. So
Thanks for tuning in.
ask Cupid's Heart a question. You'll be entered to win a gift card to Earl's in Saskatoon. And I'm really looking forward to this episode. And that first song was great. So thank you guys for being here.
Absolutely, thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Before we do the sponsor loop, what is song number 2?
Song number 2 is called Tiny Boat, and I'll have to kind of explain the title a little bit if that's okay.
Absolutely. That's what we're here for.
Okay, so Tiny Boat, I was thinking about friendship, and I was thinking, well, you get all your friends, put them on your friendship. Well, what if you only have like
Aw.
1 or 2 friends, like just,
Friendship.
you would have a tiny boat, So I was just thinking about like, a person that only has like a few close friends, and like they would have a tiny boat, and it's just about trying to make friends with someone like that, with a close inner circle, right?
Some of the stuff you have written on your various social medias and website is so creative. I love it. I was doing some research
thanks.
today, and it was making me smile a lot. There's a lot of imagery, a lot of wordplay, and I really enjoyed it instead of just like facts like usual. So it was fun. It was a fun read. And again, we're going to
Excellent
cover
feedback.
all
Thank you.
this, but first we got to give a shout out to our sponsors. Our title sponsor, returning this month, this year, this season, is Earls Saskatoon. Earls knows what's up. They are continuing their support of local music here in Saskatoon. So support those who support us. Earls Saskatoon returning as our title sponsor. From there, we go to Vern's Pizza. They will feed us after each and every show. And that's always a main thing we talk about when I'm booking the show. It's like, and then afterwards, Vern's Pizza shows up. They have monthly specials. So for full menu and the monthly deals, hit vernspizza.com. Hairstyle In is also a sponsor. They make Bryn and they make me look as good as I possibly can, and they keep Bryn looking fabulous. And of course, our good friends at E-West Music. Those are the people, those are the businesses that keep Strip Down Live going. So once again, support those who support us, those who, keep the heartbeat of Saskatoon's music scene pumping, flowing, you know what I mean. Okay, tiny boats, right? Tiny ships?
Tiny boat.
Tiny boats. It's
Just
cute.
boat, one boat.
Tiny boat. It's a good thing I'm not in the band. Take it away, Cupid's Heart.
Can you be, baby, be my best friend? be my best friend? Want me to come home? Baby, can you be my best friend? Be my best friend, sleep on all your clothes. Baby, catch me in the West End. If there is something that you want to say, I got nothing in my pocket. First round draft pick, quality comedy. Oh. Can you be, baby, be my best friend? Be my best friend, spring and summer, fall. Baby, can I be your best friend? Don't even wanna talk to nobody at all. Oh. See you coming at you. See you walk up. See you coming on a tiny boat, on a tiny boat, a tiny boat. See you coming at you. See you walk up. See you coming on a tiny boat, on a tiny boat, tiny boat. Can I be, baby, be your best friend? Be your best friend, spring and summer, fall. Baby, can I be your best friend? Tell me about your night so cold. Baby, can I be your best friend? Oh, can I afford to go? Baby, got me crossing places. Oh, all those places that I won't go. Oh. See him coming at you. See you walk up. See him coming on a tiny boat, on a tiny boat, tiny boat. See him coming at you. See you walk up. See him coming on a tiny boat, on a tiny boat, tiny boat, tiny boat, tiny boat.
Ladies and gentlemen, Cupid's Heart.
Some girls love Juliet, some love the silence. I keep on tossing and turning and falling. Opportunities come like the waves of the sea. I pretend I don't care, I pretend I don't see. I've been doing okay, I've been doing alright. Like a Saturday day, like a Saturday night. Some girls love Juliet, some love the silence. Guess I'm kinda more reason for something else. Gonna figure it out, what it takes to be free. Oh, my Saturday's here, on my Saturday's away. I'm a bit of disease, I'm a bit of disease. I'm a bit of okay, I'm a bit of alright. If you get it, got it, go. If you get it, got it, go now. You don't show up to a party empty-handed. You don't show up to a party empty-handed. If you get it, got it, go. If you get it, got it, go now. You don't show up to a party empty-handed. You don't show up to a party empty-handed. Some girls love Juliet, some love the silence. Guess I kinda know wandering bound this time. Opportunities come, opportunities Saturdays here, like my Saturdays alone. Take my mind away, let my heart believe. Broken melodies in the scenery. I've been doing okay, I've been doing alright. On a Saturday day, on a Saturday night. If you get it, gotta go. Get it, gotta go now. Show up to a party empty-handed. Show up to a party empty-handed. If you get it, gotta go. If you get it, gotta go now. Show up to a party empty-handed. Show up to a party empty-handed. 'Cause of Juliet, of the silence. Yes, I'm kinda the wandering violent type. Opportunities come, opportunities go. Like my Saturdays here, like my Saturdays alone. When the sunset off, let my mind be free. In the sanctity of the scenery. I've been doing okay, I've been doing alright. On a Saturday day, on a Saturday night. If you get it, gotta go. If you get it, gotta go now. You don't show up to a party empty-handed. You don't show up to a party empty-handed. If you get it, gotta go. If you get it, gotta go now. You don't show up to a party empty-handed. You don't show up to a party empty-handed. If you get it, gotta go. If you get it, gotta go now. You don't show up to a party empty-handed. You don't show up to a party empty-handed. If you get it, gotta go. If you get it, gotta go now. You don't show up to a party empty-handed. You don't show up to a party empty-handed.
You're watching Strip Down Live with Cupid's Heart. Every song gets better.
Oh, thank you.
Love your vocals.
Oh,
And I'm not just saying that because you're on the show. We're all rocking out back there. You have an incredible sound. Thank you, Cupid's Heart, for being our 248th episode. Now, I brought my coffee on set because I'm going to throw it over to social media correspondent Bryn Kreisa. There's some activity. People are watching. People have comments. People have questions. Bryn, this is the best part of the show.
Yeah, okay, I apologize. I just need a moment to collect my thoughts here. There's so many coming in. There are people watching from BC,
Yeah,
Ontario, all across the country. Was that last song called Juliet? Okay, this ties in perfectly because Liz is asking, what is Juliet about?
Juliet it's kind of like this in-between space, like being okay with just yourself and not having to be in a relationship. And it's also just kind of about, like, there's a lot of ideas about what it means to be a girl, what it means to be a woman, but really it just kind of comes down to you as a person and how you define it for yourself. And so it's just kind of like an in-between song. And Juliet is kind of like, you know, that ideal feminine type of like Romeo and Juliet type of an idea. So it's just kind of playing off of like, not everything has to be the stereotypical norm. You know, there's lots of different versions of love, and there's lots of different relationships out there. And also just being okay with just being by yourself is great too, you know?
Yeah. Wow, that's a really nice answer. Beautiful song. It just makes the song even more beautiful.
And Juliet's a cat. Right?
Yes.
Juliet the cat came after the song though.
Okay.
Just to say that, yeah.
Sorry, back to Bryn.
That's okay. Sarah is saying, love your music and singing. What is your influence for your music style?
I think our music style has evolved as we've been playing together, and the cello has a big part to do with it. It brings that kind of old school romantic vibe, but we're not so used to hearing it out of an orchestra, I would say. So cello as a kind of a rock and roll punk rock type of an instrument is kind of something that we're just kind of shaping, you know?
Yeah, and that actually ties into a question I wanted to ask you, Stacey, because that's what caught my interest with your group, is that there's a cello in it. So were you ever like into classical music or an orchestra background? Like, what's your background with the cello?
Well, I'm an adult learner. So I
Cool.
started taking lessons in my mid-20s, and I did the Suzuki method just through Long and McQuaid.
Mhm.
And so you're kind of learning classical music, but at the same time, I'm watching things on YouTube, and people like Tina Guo who take it like all kinds of places. And yeah, I guess when I met Emma, I hadn't really explored a whole lot of the other side of the cello, and she just saw it in the corner, and she's like, "Hey, do you want to jam sometime?" I'm like, "Well, we could try. We'll see what happens with the electric guitar." And we did a couple cover songs, took it to an open mic, and then it just kind of evolved from there very quickly, actually.
Cool.
So, but yeah, so
That's super cool. I play the bass. I started on like the double bass, the stand-up bass, but I've always really appreciated cello as one of the stringed instruments. It's one of my favorites.
oh, thank you.
That's all I'm going to ask for now, Curtis.
You can't win the gift card, Bryn, by asking a question. just
I was
so you
really
know.
trying.
What is the Suzuki method?
I guess
Yeah,
it's
I feel like someone's little brother here at like band practice.
I think it's just a common method used by, instructors. It kind of starts with book 1, and then through the levels, you go, I think, up to book 10. And you just start with very basic, like, row, row, row your boat, and then all the way up to the preludes and things like that. So it's just a way to teach cello in a way that's, consumable and easy to learn, I guess, or makes sense to learn.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Juliet was your debut single.
Yep.
Dropped at the very end of last year. Is that
No.
Nope.
It dropped on
January.
was it the 6th?
I think it was the 6th.
I think it
Yeah.
was the 6th.
okay? Sorry, this article is from December 6th, 2022, where it talks about it's about to drop.
Oh, yeah.
And Scott Ruse from North Sask Music Zine described Juliet as, quote, Chrissy Hine, Pretenders vibes with a pinch of Nirvana. I read that. I was like, well, I have a new favorite band. And again, really love the sound. Was that, like, how did you come to the conclusion of this? Like, did you ever think about drummer, other instruments, or was it just like, this is what it became from the beginning, let's run with it?
Well, we did kind of take the stripped down live to
Yeah.
heart a bit, so we reduced our instrumentation a bit for tonight. So I'm playing the acoustic rather than the electric guitar, and we also have a drum machine that we typically play with. So that kind of beat aspect is, we kind of replicate it as much as we can, but that is not present.
Yeah, we gave them a night off.
We gave it the drummer the night off tonight. Yeah.
So we're getting a very custom set on Strip Down Live.
Absolutely.
I love it.
Yeah.
And it mentions the more songs are coming for their upcoming EP, Atrium.
Yeah. Yeah, so we've been recording with Orion at Soul Sound Studio, and it's great. We love it. And we have about 3 songs kind of in the stable, and just waiting for the right time to let the horses graze and run free.
Amazing. Song number 4, because we decided we're going to do 8 songs tonight, correct? We added a bonus track
We added a
at
bonus
the end.
track.
It's like a 90s CD. There's a hidden track.
Yeah.
If you let
Gotta stay tuned.
if you let song 7 play for another 11 minutes,
Yeah.
you got a bonus track. What's song 4?
This next song coming up is called Peace.
And what is Peace about? Peace?
Peace is it's more of a complicated one. It's not so like lovey-dovey. It's more like the problems with lovey-dovey sometimes, and it's just kind of about this one character. It's very much kind of like a fictional song, but the one character in the song is kind of trying to escape a relationship, and the other part of the character won't kind of let up, sort of thing.
Yeah, it's kind of that obsessive love that becomes toxic.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Take it away, Cupid's Heart.
Not now. Come upon my door in a daze and a taze. I can't see anymore. Low blow coming in to I'm in that homegrown town. Got your hotel card, oh baby. Flash, flash, that's where you are. You're gonna fall in the well. You're gonna see in the dark, oh well. Who knows where you are? I'll never see you around. Well, it's a start, and there's a galaxy where you fall apart, and I can see in all these stars. I say, damn, baby.
Ladies and gentlemen, Cupid's Heart.
Oh, Mary's spending time in places everywhere she goes. I have bent my knees and toes upon my windowsill and know I have no more expectations. I should know me well enough. Am I uncomfortable with love? Am I uncomfortable with stuff? Am I uncomfortable enough to let it out? And does it know what roses all about? What a certainty without swing before you know it. Well, there's no explanation for what takes this out of you. There is nothing but the queers and all the road switching chairs. Oh, a secret hibernation in these sweet kind of years. I am counting on the ways that I see it. And those what roses all about? What was certainty without swing before you know it. Oh, baby, can you hold me just one more time like you do? I was never on being obviously torn in two. Can you paint me all the colors of the skies that you have seen? I got a purple, blue, and green to give you palette. Yeah, those are what roses all about? What was certainty without swing before you know it? Was it what roses all about? What was certainty without swing before you know it?
Cupid's Heart on Stripped Down's 248th episode. I want to get into the, yeah, right?
That's impressive.
Want to get into the band dynamics, if it were, because this Cupid's Heart started after COVID or before?
After.
After.
Yeah.
And this is amazing to me because I'm hearing so many stories of artists and bands that became artists and bands because of COVID, when I assumed it would be the opposite, where a lot of bands that were unable to tour and get together and practice would have quit during those couple years. We had Jackie Q on last show, and she hadn't played piano for 20 years and picked it up again because of the COVID lockdown. So it's almost inspiring in a weird way. So the genesis of the band, you guys started jamming together, made a band together, and then started dating.
Well, all at the same time.
All at the same time. That is an incredible journey.
I guess the
There's also
order
different
would be
relationships, okay?
yeah, we started dating, and then when Emma came over, she was visiting me, and actually she did an open mic before we had even played, and I was like, wow, that's so cool, look at her go. And then she saw the cello, and then she asked if I wanted to jam, and I really I didn't expect it to become what it is, but really, really happy that it has, and it's just been a really exciting journey, and to have the relationship parallel to it, it's been just a really cool experience,
So how does creating music work? Because, it's such a, writing to me is such a personal, I'm so always invested in it, and then I couldn't imagine, as much as I love my wife, having something that creative of a collaboration with her when you're so close to something, you know what I mean? Because sometimes we're on the same page and we're just knocking off the list of to-dos, and we're just yeah, and then other times it's can you not breathe that way? So I couldn't imagine getting, feedback of something I've written that's so close to me from someone that I love, if that made any sense
Absolutely.
whatsoever.
Well, creative collaboration is always kind of a challenging thing, and I think maybe it's easier, maybe it's harder because we know each other so well. Because, if this person takes it to heart, a comment that was meant constructively, then, they could be down all day long, and then, you got to fix it. So maybe that's that plus side, is that
I think there's a lot of care and patience.
there's a lot of care and
understanding.
patience. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think just, there's also just when creating, when you're connected with somebody, just, the ideas kind of just, everything seems to have just happened really organically, including the creation of music, performing, sometimes on stage, if we're kind of, the drum machine's going a little rogue, we're able to just kind of make our way through it and just kind of read each other's body language and just kind of keep pushing through, and it's just, it's such I keep saying cool. It's a cool experience.
That is the greatest answer to my stumbling word blender question I could have ever expected. Thank you for that. Let's throw it back over to Bryn. What's going on the social medias, Bryn?
Still have a lot of people tuning in. And Martina has a question actually kind of on the same wavelength that we're on about songwriting. So Martina says it's sounding great. And she asks, how did you find your way into writing original songs?
I think my songwriting kind of process is one that I would recommend to others if they want to try. Anyone can try. But basically what I usually try and do is find a place where it feels kind of private and safe and free to kind of express yourself in. Just kind of sit down with a guitar or instrument of your choice and just throw your phone on record and just start playing around and see what comes out of it, and don't be overly concerned about whether it's good or not, and just try and have fun and try and just kind of be curious about your instrument. And from there, usually there's one or two little cool things that happen, and then it's just about kind of grooming those. So just seeing what weeds come up in the garden and which ones you want to keep watering, kind of thing.
Oh, that's a great tip. I have another question from Will. He says, I'm curious if the songs being recorded for the EP are going to have the same guitar, cello, drum machine arrangement, or if you two are playing other instruments.
I think for now we're just keeping it with the cello, drum machine, and guitar and vocals. In the future, for future releases for other EPs, maybe we might explore some other sounds, but just getting started, that's our combination.
Right on. That's all I have for now.
Awesome. Keep asking questions. You can win a Earl's gift card. Before we get to the next song, I casually mentioned Juliet the cat before. Have a cat named Juliet, named after your first single? Amazing. I was watching a podcast where you two were being interviewed today, and the cat
Oh yeah, she made an
cat
appearance.
jumped across, and I thought that was so cool. You're like, yeah, that's Juliet the cat.
Yeah.
I love Googling the band and then just keep going till it's not about the band, if that makes sense. And I'm always so happy when I Google a band and that's like the first 4 hits.
Yeah.
So you're doing well.
Oh, thank you.
First 4 or 5 Google hits were Cupid's Heart. And then we get to Cupid's Heart, a from New York Times best-selling author, which I don't want to call quite BS on that, but it's a girl named Nicole Garcia, whose synopsis was
Oh, Nicole.
full,
Yeah, she interviewed us. No, just kidding.
full of grammatical errors
Oh, no.
for a New York Times bestseller. But Cupid's Heart is a Roman god romance book. The god of love is no longer doing his job of creating romance.
Oh no.
A disastrous mistake he'd made a quarter of a century ago forced him to put down his bow and arrow for good. 0 reviews. If you two were to write a Roman god romance novel, what would the premise be?
Before I answer that question, I just want to share a cool tidbit about the Cupid thing.
Okay.
Cupid has arrows both of gold and of lead. And so like there's some are for like making people fall for each other and some are like for making people like unfall for each other, like not really like unmagnet, you know?
I can
Unmagnet.
guarantee you New York Times bestselling author Nicole Garcia did not know that.
Maybe she did.
Maybe.
How do you know?
But that's
Let's call
cool.
her up right now.
Right?
Get her on the show.
And I know it's so basic, but Cupid's Heart, the band name itself. You're
Mm-hmm.
in the know about Cupid. It was well researched, and you're like,
You know
Cupid's
what?
Heart.
That's not, yeah.
No.
Tell
it's
the story.
It's a pretty adorable story, actually. So that jam night when we went and played at the open stage, you know, we needed an audience to test our songs on. So my friend's daughter, who was 9 years old at the time, she came over and she was watching us. And
Annette.
she's, yeah, her name's Annette. And she's like, well, if you guys are going to be a band, you need a name. And we're like, okay, well, you know, can you write us a list of your top 5 band names? And she had some great ideas.
good ones.
Yeah. So we narrowed it down to our top 2 or 3.
And then we crossed out the ones that were already taken.
Yeah, and Cupid's Heart was still there, and that's how we got named. So she's our unofficial manager.
Coldplay, Aerosmith. Oh, I really wanted the Beatles. Awesome. Next song 6 before we take our last commercial break. What do we have?
This song is called Paper. It's unofficially called the Apocalyptic Creep song. And so it's just kind of got more of a dark, moody vibe. And yeah, let's see how it goes.
Take it away, Cupid's Heart.
Beat to see those tinsel towns hold 1,000 crooked boxes. I could see those looks before needless things and open doors. Lead the people by the mouth, let them in and let them out. Keep 'em healthy, keep 'em strong. Never remind them what they done wrong. Say your name, say it twice. Don't ask anyone for good advice. Feed them paper, name, who's ever thankful. Sleeping babies deep in dream, causing quite a cosmic scene, stirring currents as they go. Eyes closed shut, mind wide open. Keep my hands warm and dry to keep them all in line. Pardon me, sir, bite my tongue. Never meant to hurt you. your chair. If you're happy, just crack a smile. If you're not, stay a while. Keep my heart full of wood, chop it down just like you should. Keep me warm and keep me home, always wanting something more. Say your name, say it twice. Don't ask anyone, could advise, but feet on paper, yeah. Names have all thankful.
Ladies and gentlemen, Cupid's Heart.
Come to my door, 'cause it's midnight. I won't get you away anymore. You said, please come, battle the song. Would you play that record like you did at home so long? People sitting at my door. I'm in place for an hour, I'm on board. Then it's so long. Take on town, and we'll face that car the other way around. And they say, please pick me up, please pick me up, pick me up, please, please pick me up, please pick me up, please pick me up, pick me up, pick me up, please, please pick me up, please pick me up. People sitting at the door, severing an hour, about an hour on board. You say, compound, have a taste, all of the things for the second take, same thing, living room floor, same damn hour as the hour before. You know, people, they do talk, don't tell that lady that you know my name. And they say, please pick me up, please pick me up, pick me up, please, please pick me up, please pick me up, please pick me up, pick me up, pick me up, please, please pick me up, please pick me up, please pick me up, pick me up, pick me up, please, please pick me up, please pick me up, please pick me up, pick me up, pick me up, please, please pick me up, please pick me up. This song said it's so hard. Gonna get it, gonna bring it home. You say, calm down, back for more. You coming here more than a grocery store. Goddamn, you've been in this place. Such a big, big heart. What a beautiful waste. You know, this thing, it has a pull. Grabs you and pulls you where you were before. They say, please pick me up, please pick me up, pick me up, please, please pick me up, please pick me up, please pick me up, pick me up, pick me up, please, please pick me up, please pick me up, please pick me up, pick me up, pick me up, please, please pick me up, please pick me up, pick me up, pick me up, please, please pick me up.
Cupid's Heart on Strip Down Live, and we are rapidly running out of time. So let's throw it over one last time to social media correspondent Bryn Kreisa. We got one last question.
Yes.
Rapid fire.
Yep, it's from Jonathan, and he is asking, are you booked for any more Summerfest this summer? See you at Napatak Ramble. And I had to ask you what Napatak was because I hadn't heard of it before.
Yes, we'll be at Napatak Ramble, and it 'tis the season of festivals and the secrets that they reveal. And, you know, we have permission to disclose one exclusive piece of information, and that's that we're going to be at Moose Fest this year in Bellevue. So that's an
So,
exciting thing.
Confirmed Napatak Ramble. Confirmed
Moose Fest, and who knows? Maybe there's more announcements on the way. We just can't say.
Cool. And Napatak Ramble is in La Ronge, you said.
La Ronge, Saskatchewan. Yeah, and it's
Okay.
their 11th year this year. It's a bit of a smaller festival.
Potato Lake, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, Potato Lake. Yeah,
Mhm.
but near La Ronge.
Right on. And now you have to pick the gift card winner. So
Yes.
pick
Oh.
a number from 1 to 5.
3.
3?
Oh, same page. Good job.
Oh, congratulations, Sarah.
And speaking of congratulations, before we wrap up, I got to go through these sponsors one last time. These are the folks that give back to the community, give back to the music community here in Saskatoon, and keep the train on the tracks, called Strip Down Live. Of course, our title sponsor, Earl's Saskatoon, back this season. From there, we go to Vern's Pizza. Go to vernspizza.com for full menu and monthly specials. Vern's Pizza on the way, about to feed the crew as soon as we're done here. Hairstyle Inn and E-West Music. For classic episodes of Strip Down, before it was Strip Down Live, when it was just Strip Down, you can check it out on the Mermoose Media YouTube page. Yeah, easy for me to say. All right, let's wrap it up. Cupid's Heart. Did you have fun?
Oh, tons of fun. This was great.
I have waited the entire episode to try to work this in organically, but I can't, so I'm just going to say it. If you were a Ninja Turtle, you'd be Donatello.
Oh,
yes!
I love it. I love it.
Yeah. Okay.
Can I use that one?
You can have that.
Oh, thank you.
There's
What a gift.
That is a gift.
I'm not going to top that, so let's
Truly.
take it away. The last song, Cupid's Heart. Where are we going?
On the line.
On the Line. Thank you so much.
Thank
Good
you
luck.
for having us.
Get on the line, but you'll live for